Ellis of Nebraska, and Campos, who has garnered a lot of attention this week at linebacker out of Louisville. Then in the secondary, it's T.J. Cunningham, Colorado, Tyrone Williams, Nebraska, Donnell Liamidi of Colorado at strong safety, and Tony Veland of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and that rounds out the secondary. Stewart, good protection. On top for Blair. Can't get it. Tyrone Williams had the cover on him. Gary thought it was interesting. Last week we were given the note at the East-West Shrine game.
Watch hockey or watch the Canadian guy play in the U.S. There you see the fade and going to the outside and the cutoff by the corner, and it's exactly what you have to do. If you turn around, cut the man off with your hip, it's almost like blocking out in basketball, and you can just run the guy out. You can almost interfere with him.
Again, sings it out of the backfield, and LT.
Yeah, that was Marcus Coleman who ran under, and I did a Texas Tech game this year, and we all saw that big upset Tech had against Texas A&M when Coleman had a great game, but he almost got that for Berringer. Now Berringer's not going to come in and run the option in this game, so it's going to be a little different, but you know, he showed me a lot. I thought he threw the ball well. He doesn't have a extremely long arm, but very quick arm, and you know, remember a year ago when he played all those games, you know, he threw over 50%.
Won 7 in a row.
That's exactly. Well, he had a good team too, though.
Yeah, he did. You know, and he's going to call a timeout right here as he looked around at the formation, and I don't think everybody was lined up properly. 3:43 left to play. I knew I could do the job. And also I asked him, I said, what about, are you comfortable throwing drop back? And he said, listen, our pass offense at Nebraska is much more extensive than what people realize, but every day I threw against one of the best defenses in the nation. He said, I think that helped me.
Well, I'll give him that. He did throw once one of the best defense, very quickness, but I'm not going to buy that really dynamic pass offense routine. I think it's going to be much more difficult, Mel, for him to step from a Nebraska-type pass offense than what he's going to face if he's going to make it as a third-string quarterback, which is his goal.
No question. I think this week, Milanovic, Berringer, and Stark, they all had their good days, and they had their days where one passed the other. But I think in Berringer's case, you're looking at a guy you want to bring in as an undrafted free agent, bring him along gradually. By his third or fourth year, maybe he's a backup. I don't think anybody right now envisions Brook Berringer as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
You know, the other thing, I asked him, I said, with the rotation of 3 quarterbacks, do you have to keep from pressing? He said, definitely. You know, you don't want to try to make too much out of the 11 plays you're going to run.
Yeah, and that's exactly true. You got to run the play as designed and keep patient.
That looked like a broken play here, and he's going to be knocked out.
No question about it.
Well, they fake the reverse. Now they're going to throw back to the reverse man. That's Shelley. And James Shelley out of Central State of Ohio is out of bounds at around the 50-yard line. As Coach Corso is right there to help make sure the official marked it. He had the ball and then had it knocked away at the last moment as Williams had the cover, but I think it was Veland who came over and then knocked it out of his hand.
When Veland came across and cleaned up on it that time to help Williams, but you'll see again, this ball is thrown late. Van Dyke, big guy, nice wiggle there, made the cornerback that time at least respect the inside move. There it is, it's a jump ball, no one has a chance. Free safeties as bad as Nebraska handled Florida in that championship game.
Shotgun, Berringer trying to get out of harm's way and not going to be able to. Berringer rolls the pocket, and that pass gets away from him. Really sailed. Freddie Scott is the guy that he wanted. Lafali was coming with some heaviest time. Pressure comes on, and that is nothing but a coverage sack as John Ross run for his life on this one. LaCurtis Jones out of Baylor comes over to make the tackle on him.
That was a curious call, a rollout or a play-action pass-type play on third down. We got to tell Coach Godfrey that he wouldn't even like that call if he was up here. That time of Tyrone Williams. His ball looked like it was out of bounds. Van Dyke shows what he can do, but there's not a lot of room there. He's up in the air. His foot comes out of bounds. Well, I don't know if his actually looked like his right foot might have come in first. He gets shoved. No, but in college football, you can shove the man out of bounds, and it's an incomplete pass. That should be incomplete.
And it's going to be incomplete.
It should have been. That was a good call.
Never turned around. Tyrone Williams looking for a block, and he'll take it back to the 29-yard line, and now the crowd is buzzing. We've had a couple of back-to-back interceptions. So there's a timeout on the field with 3:50 left until halftime. Back-to-back interceptions as the defenses come through, and it's the East on top by a count of 7-0. We'll be right back.
Manley this time is going to be matched up on Johnson, the right side of your screen, in the middle with the purple helmet on, and Johnson playing center and now helps out at guard, playing out of position a bit there and trying to match up
right now, and this is Childs who puts a head down, and then he gets cracked and knocked down hard. Ellis makes the stop. Also, Noga helped out, number 54.
Well, Clinton Childs is going to play in the NFL. One thing he's going to have to work on is catching the football. This week, that's something that showed maybe a flaw in his game. He's an upright runner, but I tell you, in the next couple of months, he's going to have to work diligently in practice to show these scouts that he can be a factor in the passing game. This week, he was disappointing in that area.
Now, Mel, it might be more important that he can catch the ball more than a Lawrence Phillips, because Lawrence Phillips brings the package of a running back that they might overlook bad hands. Would that be right?
Exactly. And I think Phillips will be a better receiver. I think Childs, knowing that you were going to look for a backup type play, you better be able to catch the football. And Childs, unfortunately, struggled.
Buys some time and hits the big tight end across the middle on a play that quarterback has to make in these types of games. You can't depend on your offensive line to block air.
Flag goes down, and it's all for naught as Veland made the pick.
You're exactly right. From up here, if you were playing video games on this one, you'd be able to go to the tight end. But I mean, to Muhammad coming across the middle, but just good enough coverage where Hewer didn't have an easy throw. He had to make a perfect throw, and that's about all you can ask for on defense.
Yeah, when you got the needle to Conwell, there were a lot of people around him, and Veland either got a piece of it or helped knock it away. Now with his fourth down.
Well, he was thrown to his own guy this time. We'll see if anybody got a piece of it, but this was a well-thrown ball. Thrown hard, a lot of zip on it, the ball, and if anybody got it, it had to be Philip Ellis coming across. It might have just dove and tipped that ball on the play. The middle linebacker from Nebraska, Veland and Ellis, double-teaming the tight end, which should be done on the zone in that area.
That's going to take care of a lot of business right there as Clinton Childs on a second and a third effort goes over midfield inside the 45. This will stop the clock momentarily as the change move, and that's 21 yards on that running play.
That's probably the best block play of the game right there, running right into the teeth of the defense on a play that they had to have, and Childs showed why he was a tailback for Nebraska on that one. He took it up inside, and he's a big back, and Mel, as you said, if he has a shortcoming, it's catching the ball, something he didn't do a lot of.
Now, that's something he's really got to work on in the next couple of months, and he's going to be tested in that area, and that's where he's going to come up short. And personally, in the draft, you're talking 7 rounds, obviously. So I think Clinton Childs, when all said and done, is going to have to battle his way into camp as an undrafted free agent.
From all these all-star games we've seen in the past, you get an offensive line that's a little bit of a mismatch against a defensive line that usually determines the outcome of these games.